This is NBK, nothing but Knicks. When Sim passed the assist, you know that it's #1 show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock, who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Post-game reviews, this the place you tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sub like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Knicks.
Knicks family, what's poppin'? Is your boy. Good morning, good afternoon, whatever it is to you. Good to you. Thank you for being here with me, ladies and gentlemen. I know I'm a little bit late, running behind. But hey, we're going to go ahead and get this thing popping. We got a nice group here, ladies and gentlemen, to talk about the Knicks last night. Julius Randle was out versus the Wizards last night. And so there was a lot of questions about how the offense would look and what the Knicks might do in this offense without Julius Randle there. I think a lot of us thought the Knicks would still be able to score the basketball and do some things. They did a lot of things, including shoot 52 threes, ladies and gentlemen. 52 threes the Knicks shot last night. We're going to talk about it right here on the shoot around. Let's get everybody here so we can go ahead and get this conversation going. We got Steph in the chat. We got Andy. We got No Take Nate. Ron from Still Knicks Fans. We got Darley. Got a lot of people here. We're going to have a good discussion, man. Andy, I'll start with you. How you feeling today?
What up, guys? It's evening almost for me. It's 20 minutes after 6 here.
Mm-hmm.
Happy to be on, watch the game, had a good sleep. And, I'm after dinner basically ending my day with you guys.
All right. Okay. Well, we're glad you're ending your day with us, man. We're just starting our day. We're getting this nice conversation in before football starts and all of that. Nate, no take Nate in the building. What's up, man? Got to unmute yourself.
What's up, guys? Just saw the Knicks win last night. Saw my Aggies beat the #1 team in the country in Alabama. So yeah, it was a good night. Ready to talk some Knicks.
Yeah, it was a good night of sports for me, man. Went to the game, watched the Knicks, came back home, watched the fight. It was an exciting fight. It was a crazy fight. Good fight. Darley from Atmosphere Audio, what's poppin' with you, man?
I'm good. It was a great game yesterday. Preseason, but I love that Tibbs has them playing with heart anyways. Got to go in with that winning mentality, even if it doesn't matter for the I guess the rankings. It shouldn't matter. I want to see them, always come out with a fight. Our leader wasn't there and we still won, so that's a good sign.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Ron, what's up, man?
Hey, man, just happy to be here. I'm really excited about the direction of current Knicks team and the basketball we're playing. And I like it. I like the fact that these preseason games they mean more to the Knicks than other teams around the league. And hopefully when the regular season starts, they're all going to pay because of it. So I can't wait.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Steph?
Yeah, shout out to you, Sim, the chat, the panel. Welcome, Darley and Ron, to the family, to the panel. I'm looking forward to the season. Last night was good. It was good to see us without Randall still put up, over 110 points. Hopefully that continues. And like Ron said, Tibbs is in mid-season form, and hopefully that gets us off to a quick start.
Mid-season form. Definitely in mid-season form, man. He's not joking. He's not playing. Last night, we shot 52 threes. 52 threes. 84 shots, 52 threes. 62% of our shots last night were threes. Is this something, Andy, I'll start with you. Is this something that you think is sustainable for the Knicks?
I think that 52, I don't think they're going to reach that many, maybe, in next games. But listen, it definitely is. It is a target for them. If it's happening in preseason, and I believe that the amount was 52 or whatever, but it was because we were making them at the beginning. If
Right.
we would start, a little bit worse, they wouldn't be probably taking that, that many, right? But since they were falling, they were taking them. And the clip that we had, it was awesome. It was better than shooting field goals from two. So
Right.
listen, you can go versus the stats like that. So
Right. I mean, look, they said that they said they wanted to shoot more threes, right?
yeah.
And this is
And then
exactly
just
what
to add,
they did. You know what I mean?
yeah, I think if I'm correct, there were 8 Knicks with multiple made threes. If I'm correct, even Grimes
Right.
got 2 in.
Right. Even Grimes got
So
2 in. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
the Knicks said they
Yeah.
wanted to change and shoot more threes. And I mean, I guess Tom Thibodeau's the type of guy that says, hey, if I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it to the limit. You know what I mean? And he's doing it to the limit. 52 threes. And for other teams, you might be kind of used to them shooting 52 threes. For the Knicks, not so much. This is, a little bit new. Nate, do you think this is sustainable?
I don't think so, because I think the Knicks' bread and butter is a lot of also scoring inside the paint. The 3-pointers is something they do want to emphasize this year as far as their offensive plan. Um, I still think inside is going to be a key for us too, because it's just amazing how the NBA's evolved so much. When you talk about 52 3-pointers out of 84 attempts, like, it's amazing. It's like no one even does the inside anymore. It's all the 3-pointers and layups. It's really crazy. But I still think the Knicks are still going to play inside. I think a lot of their players love the mid-range and love the inside, especially Julius Randle. I hope to see him in the paint. I don't want to see the Knicks just shooting threes the whole time. I definitely want to see him play inside, outside. But they have the capability of doing it because they do shoot a high percentage.
Yeah. Okay. Ron, do you think, just looking at last night, Julius Randle was out. How much of the Knicks shooting these threes was because Julius Randle wasn't there, so they didn't have a true? I mean, you got Taj Gibson, but you're not going to go to Taj Gibson every time down the floor, or Taj Gibson's going to touch the ball. I mean, he touches the ball a good number of times when he's in the game. So I'm not going to say that, but he's not going to be the staple of your offense, where Julius Randle is, one of the staples of the Knicks offense. And obviously he can really bang inside. So how much of last night's shooting, perimeter play, had to do with Julius Randle being out, do you think?
I think it weighs in a lot, because we were talking about it a little bit last night, and Steph brought up the question. Julius is the stabilizer of the team. So when they're going, up and down, or maybe the shots aren't falling, or just the way the defense is playing, Julius is that guy who can kind of control everything. He's a solid scorer. He can do everything on the floor. And so he gives them a little bit of balance and kind of keeps them in some type of emotion that they're not going to get too crazy shooting all these perimeter shots. Like he definitely is the one that can level them out a little bit. And that, not having that, and then having Obi in the game is a big difference, because Obi can't create his own shot. So he's another person that someone has to set up, which falls in line of more perimeter shots, more threes. So it's a type of basketball that is kind of herky-jerky. It's great to watch, but when it's not happening well, Knicks are going to have some long nights.
Yeah. I think the thing is, when it's not happening well, they have, you have Julius Randle and some other players, the pick and roll game, which you're seeing a lot of pick and roll from the team.
Mm-hmm.
They can go inside, they can go inside the Randle. They can play some pick and roll, and try to get those lobs, and find the ball to some players streaking to the basket in some other ways when those threes aren't falling. You know,
Right.
yeah, I think there's so many ways that this team can score. But Steph, what do you think just about Julius Randle not being there and that being a big reason that the Knicks shot so many threes last night?
I think that was part of it, but I think what you just said, Sam, we can score in so many ways. So I think it's what's the defense giving us, as Andy said, how we shoot in on that particular night. Even though we shot a lot of threes, I didn't get the sense that we was bombing. Like when I saw that, I was like, "Wow, we shot 52." So I think they were coming within the flow of the game. Even Kimba, when he came down and pulled up off the dribble, that's his shot. That's
Mm-hmm.
the shot that he takes. So I think it's just what the game, how the flow of the game is going, what the defense is giving us, and if they're giving it to us, we're going to take it. But I don't think we're just going to be coming out bombing, trying to hit a particular number.
Right, right. And I was shocked that it was 52 threes when Tony told me that before the post game started. And thank you guys again for running the post game show. I was like, wow, 52 threes and 84 shots.
Right.
I mean, that's almost 84 shots. It's like a low number of attempts, it seems like. And 52 of them was threes, And one of the things that I always get afraid about, I don't want to watch guys come down and just shoot up threes the entire game. But we still got our good share of inside play. Obi, with a nice oop from Evan Fournier. Jericho Sims, a couple of dunks inside. When Mitchell Robinson gets back, he's going to get, some dunks and some good plays inside. Taj Gibson with a beautiful spin move inside off of a pass. Taj Gibson is playing like he's 28 years old right now.
Yeah.
I mean, we know he can only do it for so long, but he's playing like he's 28 years old. Just, backing people down, knocking down little fadeaway jump shots, spinning in the lane, knocking down threes. I don't know. Taj Gibson maybe found a fountain of youth over there in Brooklyn or something. I don't know what he did. I want to take a minute and listen to Tom Thibodeau. All right, and he'll talk about last night's game. Then we'll come back, respond to, what you heard from Tom Thibodeau. I want to talk about Rose tweaking his ankle. If you're concerned at all about that, I don't think Rose is, but we'll talk about that a little bit too. Let's listen to Tom Thibodeau, ladies and gentlemen.
Made threes tonight, franchise record 20. Obviously, that 24 doesn't count in the preseason. But your thoughts on that? I know you were looking for not just the number, but the quality.
Yeah, both. And it was one of the things that, we've worked hard at for the last 2 years and over the summer, and also the guys that we've brought in. They're, very efficient at shooting them, so their shot profile is right. And then making the right reads, that's probably the most important thing, the ability to go off the dribble, attack the rim, and make the proper rim read. Hit the open man, and guys make the extra pass. We're going to have good rhythm threes. We also want to push the ball more. So that's something that we continue to work on. But overall, I thought we had some really good things. Obviously, we're still nowhere near a 48-minute team, and that's what we have to stride towards. And the fourth quarter, we got bogged down a little bit, so we can improve in that area as well. But overall, a lot of guys stepped in. I thought Obi played really well. I thought Kevin came in and gave us really good minutes. So that was good to see. So we're starting. I like the depth of our team.
When I was talking to Kenny Payne at the half, he actually made a great point. He was saying the 12 threes that you had at that point were nice, but you guys can't forget about the defense on the other end. He was looking for more communication, better rebounding. How are you finding the balance when you do have a team that can lean on their offense?
Well, to be a good team in this league, you have to be strong on both sides of the ball. So we felt last year we improved significantly on the defensive end. We thought we improved with our shooting overall. We shot a very high percentage, and that put us in position to win. And then this year was a continuation of that. We understand how important it is for us to play defense and rebound. We always say there's three things that we have to do every night, and that's defend, rebound, and keep our turnovers down. Now, our turnovers were high tonight, so that we have to correct that. But if we do those three things, regardless of how we shoot the ball, we'll be in position to win against anyone, anywhere, right? If you defend and you rebound and keep turnovers down, you'll be in position to win. And so then we got to make the right plays. Then we got to execute. So we want to be balanced. We want to be strong on both sides of the ball.
And last one for you, but you mentioned Obi. Just your thoughts on the extended minutes that he got, his production.
Really good. Like, he's worked extremely hard. And not just the offensive plays. I thought he had some really good defensive plays. And that's where, we talked about his offensive improvement, which it has improved, but the defensive end, he's gotten better. And that's important for us. And when he's on the floor, the team functions well. He moves the ball side to side probably as well as anyone on our team.
Those threes that you guys got started because you were able to get middle and then kick out. What made you so successful in just being able to get that position?
Yeah, and you already touched on it. I think the first part is the defense and rebounding and getting out into the open floor. And if they have one guy who's slow getting back, we're going to have an advantage. And then we can play. We're doing a better job of playing off the pass also. So sometimes if we can get the mix of the pick and roll game, the transition game, and playing off the pass, we get downhill that way. And once we get downhill, the quality of shots will go up significantly.
Tom, I mean, Kevin showed glimpses that first half. He was nailing threes. Did too much in the second half, but I mean, you like that you saw something like that, and also for you guys to do it without Julius Randle today. Does it say something about
Right, and we talked about the importance of everyone being ready and understanding, okay, everyone needs to do their job. And so if you're not in the rotation, your job is to work every day to prepare yourself when your opportunity comes. And over the course of the season, everyone will get the opportunity. And I thought, I watch Kevin every day. I watch Obi. I see the way they work. So Obi's role changed to being a starter, playing more, and he handled it perfectly because of his preparation. It gave him a lot of confidence. Kevin, the same thing could be said. He works incredibly hard. I think he's improved. He got into rotation, and that's what we need everyone. It's a team. It's a team sport. So everyone's role is important. Everyone's an important part of this team. So how we practice, if you're not in the rotation, you have to be great in practice, not good in practice, great in practice, so our team can improve. And then when you're called upon, go in there and get the job done. And so that's what I was proud of. When they went in, they were ready to go.
Derrick seemed to be bothered by towards the end of the game. I think got hit in the vein. Do you know, give any update on him or what happened?
Yeah, just bumps and bruises. He'll be fine.
All right, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Well, first of all, for Derrick Rose, just bumps and bruises. He'll be fine. For all the people, I'm getting, I got Twitter, people tweeting at me, bugging out and everything. See, Derrick Rose, da-da-da-da-da. And I'm pretty sure Big Bubba's waiting to come on and say, see? Right? Pretty sure of that. But Tip said, just like you said, Steph, it really isn't the number, it's the quality of shot. And if the quality of shot is there, then I want you to take it. And that's what the Knicks, basically that's what they're doing. The quality of shot is there. I'm going to take the shot no matter what it is. They're shooting faster. I like what he said about playing with the pass. And I think we're seeing a lot of that with this team. Just playing with the pass. Every time one pass, somebody makes it a pass, it's initiating another move or another cut. And it's making this offense dynamic. So, Steph, if you could just talk about that a little bit, what you see as far as the Knicks passing the basketball and Tibbs' ability to use his players.
Yeah, as I've said, before the season start, that's what I was looking for. Tibbs has a certain way of playing in Minnesota and the Bulls. And so I was wondering, did he play this way last year just because this was the personnel? We have different personnel now. What is he going to do? Is it still going to be half pace? Are we going to pick up the pace? Are we still going to run the offense through Randle? And what I'm seeing, I have to say, I am excited. Anybody can bring the ball up. Randle, Fournier brought the ball up a lot yesterday. Kimber, RJ, they're doing pick and rolls with different people. And I'm not even seeing a lot of, with Randle in that left, low post type area, waiting for the double team so that he can then, pass it out. If that's been happening, maybe I'm missing it. The offense just seems really, really dynamic. And I think that bodes well for us because teams are not going to be able to just shut down Randle and key on one part of our offense. We're picking up the pace as well. So we're playing faster. That means the defense of the other team has to be faster, and we're moving the ball. So there's no rest for that defense to continually get reset because the person is holding the ball. So and listen, we scored. What was it? 112 or 117 last night? Without
117. We scored 117, I think. Yeah.
Without Randle. So I'm extremely happy with the offense.
Yeah. Ron, you want to jump in there?
Yeah, I mean, echoing the sentiments of Steph, I'm looking at them, and I don't think it's a consistent number of passes or anything, because I know some teams in their offense, when they come down the court, they want to have a certain number of touches before they get into their offense. I don't think the Knicks are doing that, but they definitely are working little weaves and moving the ball around to find the open shot if it doesn't present itself right away. And I think, I mean, it's just funny to look at because I feel like we're so spoiled. I'm not used to them moving the ball this way. All those years of watching Carmelo and how the offense was catered to him, and then even watching the early times of Julius and how kind of he ball hogged and then started to open up. Even last year, I think, excuse me, I think you're right. The personnel has a lot to do with it. I don't know if we had all the shooters. So in essence, some of the passes, didn't happen on the perimeter as much. It went into Julius and then it's go from there. If Julius gets doubled, it gets passed.
Right. Nate, go ahead. I see you had something to say, and then I want to listen to Rose, and then I'll come back to Andy. Go ahead, Nate.
Yeah, so two things that really struck me about that post-game interview. First one is his core principles: defend, rebound, and turnovers. I thought that was real on point and on key. I think that's what he's going to live by this whole season. Defending at a high rate, rebounding at a high rate, and making sure on the offensive end you don't turn over the ball, which we did a lot last night. But I think that's something we can clean up because the game before that, I think we turned over the ball 3 times. Right. So second thing is, you have to be great in practice. I thought that was huge because usually coaches say, they got to show me something in practice. They got so it translates to the field or the court. In this case, he's like, you have to be great in practice. And maybe, just maybe, that might be the reason why we don't see Knox play a lot. He hasn't been great in practice. Or we didn't see somebody else that I don't want to name last year that didn't play a lot because he wasn't great in practice. Well, obviously, practice is where he says, this is where you got to show me, and you got to be exceptional. That means you got to be up there with the starters and the bench if you want to get minutes. So I thought that was very impressive.
Hey, I mean, yeah, you might be right. You could very well be right. You got to be great in practice. I mean, but still, someone can be great in practice and just isn't as good as another player. Or doesn't give you everything that you need. Because if you watch Knox, I really, really focused in on Knox. And he really just runs down to the corner on every single possession. He's barely in another spot on the floor. Every once in a while, he'll be on the wing where Obi, he can be in the dunker spot. He can be on the wing a little bit. He can be in the corner. And maybe this is where Tom Thibodeau just likes the fact that Obi can give you all of these things from the 4 spot. Well, Knox right now is really he's become just a 3-point shooter. When he was a rookie, he was a little more than that. He's become just a 3-point shooter, and if he's not hitting the 3, he can't give you anything inside. He's not running a screen and roll and jumping over people. He's not going to be in that dunker spot. I think he needs to do a little bit more if he wants to jump over top of Obi, which I don't think is going to happen, but he's got to do more offensively, I think. But let's listen to Derrick Rose. And I know I got some guys in the green room waiting to get in. We'll get some of these guys in as well. But let's listen to Derrick Rose.
Having that big come up quick so that we couldn't get in the paint. And we work on it every day with about 100 passes where certain guys in the team, if they get hot like Kemba, they're going to double team him. And we got to make sure that we give him all the outlets that he needs. And the big guys like Taj, Jericho did a great job tonight with getting the ball inside and kind of giving them the freedom to make plays and make the game simple, especially if they put in 2 people on the ball.
It's early, obviously, but what is the biggest difference or differences that you're seeing between the offense last year and what you guys are doing through these first couple of games here?
I mean, it's just a different team. You know, no knock on the guys that played on the team last year, but when you bring in Kemba, Evan, and I mean shooting, like when you bring in shooting like that, the game should be easier. But like I said, when you're forcing a double team, there's no point. I mean, early on in the game, we were turning the ball over. I had like 3 turnovers from like just over dribbling and trying to force things. And in the second half, we made sure that we got off the ball quick, made simple plays, and it led to us getting set shots. And I think some of the threes that we did miss, they still were like good looks.
Looks like you tweaked an ankle or something in there. Yeah. Is everything okay with that?
Nothing serious at all. But I knew I would have kept playing. I probably would have made it worse. But it's nothing serious at all. Yeah. I think I probably did myself. The second game, I don't play pickup in the summer, so yeah, all this is just new. You know what I mean? Just moving around. Tips, training camps are a little bit different. You rarely play 5 like that. It's really like drills and learn the principles of what he's doing with the defense and offense. And just trying to like take my time, let my body just like, you know, being older, just come naturally, let the game come naturally to me. And when I did fall, I felt it. It was just a tweak. I didn't twist it all the way. And I just slid to the side. Like Tibbs, he understood. Everybody understood.
Those numbers of 3-point attempts that you guys talked about, and you hit them both games. That's 45 today.
Yeah.
Is that, it's just preseason, but is that a good indication that you think you guys can do that on a regular basis?
I don't want to give like the set number that Tibbs told us to get, but that's pretty good. It's above the set number that he told us. They were all good looks, you know, where Kemba is walking into threes. He's great off the dribble. Evan, same. RJ, same. I'm more of a catch and shoot, but I felt like everybody was just making the game easier for like the next person. And like I said, when you get like an offensive like team like we have, it should make the game easier. Our biggest thing is defense, making sure our defense intensity matches our offense.
We know Julius tonight, and we still proud of them. Scored a bunch of points. And it was good to see Knox hit some threes. And, you know,
Oh, you're great. They're building confidence, you know. Kev, he's been here for a while, so Tibbs giving him the opportunity to go out there and play. And when of course you miss a guy like Julius, but in this league, you never know what's going to happen. And Tibbs always has the same of next guy up. And Kev and Obi, they've been doing a great job with making sure they watch Ju every day, seeing his work ethic. They coming in, getting their vitamins every day, their work, and you just see it's paying off. But they're able to see a guy at that position really like work their butt up. So it's great.
Derrick, you guys had a few possessions, especially in the third quarter, where it's just kick out and a guy had what could have been a good shot and swung around the perimeter 4 more times for a great open look. What is allowing you guys to be able to get those good shots for great shots?
Great shot. I mean, I can only speak for like my group that I'm out there with. We played in like meaningful games already. You know, AB and Quick as far as the guard, and you playing playoff games. All this, don't get me wrong, these are winning, but still preseason. So everybody's still adjusting. Everybody's trying to figure out rotations on the other team. And like I said, we're trying to make the game easier for everyone. So um, it should be easy at basketball, but it's great to get a win.
What was that conversation about? And what's it been like playing with him?
Man, he's a great big. He has a lot of potential. You know, he's an introvert, and that's why I could tell, and that's why I could relate to him in a way where he's way bigger than me. But it's kind of weird that we have that relationship, but I could see it. So I was telling him while we were out there that no matter what, if I got the ball, if I jump in the air, always pay attention to me until I get rid of the ball, because sometimes I may jump in the air just to throw a fake pass to give it to him for like a layup. So I'm just telling him everything I told Joakim or any other like big like him that I play with, to always keep their eyes on me so that they can get easy basket.
Jericho is very quiet with us too. A few times we talked to him. Is he a quiet guy in the locker room?
Oh yeah. I mean, he talks. Don't get me wrong, he talks, but I don't know. That's something that I just could see in him, you know. And my job with being the vet is to trying to like get him to break out of that shell, because as a big, we got to be able to talk and communicate. And Tib is not going to allow him to like be quiet on the court. So it's my job to help big guy with that.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was Derrick Rose. And at the end there, you heard him talking about Jericho Sims, you know, and kind of said Jericho Sims has kind of a, you know, the same type of
Introvert personality.
Yeah, thank you, Andy. Introverted personality is him, so they got kind of a connection there. But Sims had 7 points and 13 rebounds last night. 13 rebounds. Now he's doing it against the second unit. But do you think he can do this, Andy? I'll start with you since you helped me out there. Do you think he could do this? Is it sustainable? Can he do it all the time? Can he give you this type of production if he was getting rotation minutes?
Listen, as far as I think any of our centers can do that. If they're going to get about 20, 25 minutes a game. Listen, the center spot for this Knicks roster is basically the same guy they got every time on the floor. That's the fifth option on the floor. And if it's the first lineup or the second lineup, they're not going to be plays called for those guys. Those guys have to. The only play they're going to get is the lob, and or just a handoff under the basket if there's going to be no way out. Other than that, they have to get that rebound and just put it back to the hoop, right? So I think if they get the minutes on the court, and all of those three guys, meaning Mitch and Nerlens, they have to be on the court. At least one of those guys has to be on the court at all time, probably. So I think the production from those guys can be easily like 20 points for the whole 48 minutes, right? 20 points and probably 20 rebounds. And that's what we're going to get from the position, to sum it up. Going back to Sims, I don't know if you guys noticed, but it is only the second preseason game which he is on this roster. But I saw Taj several times giving him pointers going out from the timeout. Like Derek said, he's always talking to him, trying to get him, comfortable with the rest of the guys, because like he said, if he's an introvert, he's not going to be that quickly type, that RJ type that's going to go around and joke with those guys. And sometimes it's hard to get with your teammates that bond if you're not the funny dude in the room. So I think he wants to make him really more comfortable around the rest of the squad, so they just have that bond. And I think a vet like Taj and D-Rose looking out for him, it's going to mean, basically everything for his young career, because, the rest of the guys are going to follow the vets. So I think it's really, really cool for D-Rose, especially for D-Rose, because Taj, he's a center also, so he's always going to give pointers like that. But having a former MVP, like, behind yourself, it's really encouraging.
Yeah.
And just to add to the Sims situation, I don't know if you guys saw, there was a situation when he fouled Harold, and Harold like went to the ground, and he, he's a emotional guy. He just jumped up and he was like going towards Sims. Sims, really comfortably turned around and went to stand, because they're going to be free throws shot. He just turned around and went back. But I think he was basically in fear that if someone's going to push him, I don't know if Sims felt that the rest of the team is going to have his back. But, in a couple of games, if he's going to be, if he's going to lose that shell and the guys are going to be talking with him and he's going to be talking with the guys like every time, like quickly does it, like, joke around with those guys, I think he's going to be more comfortable with the whole team.
Okay. All right. Steph, I see you had your hand up. Wanted to jump
Yeah,
in.
I mean, to me, Sims is a very good rebounder. Noel, in my opinion, is not a great rebounder. And Mitch is a good rebounder, but it's a lot of offensive rebounds. I really, for Mitch, I would like to see a little more defensive rebounding from him as well. And that's what I like about Sims. He had 13 rebounds, 10 of them were defensive, 3 was offensive. That's a very good ratio. So I'm really hoping that Mitch picks his defensive rebounding up, keep the offensive rebounding, and that Noel also picks up his defensive rebounding.
Yeah. Mark, what's going on with you, man? Tell me what you think about
What's going on,
Sims.
fam?
Tell me what you think about Sims and what you've been seeing so far.
I just think he's about his business, period. I just think he comes out and plays his role. And watching him last night, dude is just, the presence is there. He's going to just need time and minutes, that's all. I just think he's going to be a very productive person. And him being an introvert, there's some guys that's like that and some guys that aren't. I like guys like that's introvert mostly because he comes in and does his job and you don't hear nothing from him. You don't have to really worry about players like that. So, when, people say you want to be part of the team, I think he's part of the team, but he's going to show it in a different way. But when he's on the court, man, he's about business, man. And what I seen what Taj was doing with him, because for me, Taj is the treasure. Because if you watch Taj, just positioning yourself is that's all you need to do. And I think that's what he's teaching thing. Just position yourself in the right spots at the right time, and you will be a good center or a good player in the league. Because, boy, just the presence last night with Sims, people couldn't come in the paint because he goes straight up. He's very disciplined. If you watch him, he goes straight up defensively. He doesn't put his hands down. He probably did it one time, but he goes straight up. And for a big that does that very early as a rookie, and he hardly commits fouls, God bless, because he's going to be a good center. He's going to be a good center, and he has more to his. He can broaden his offensive game under the rim when he's allowed to, but he does it when he gets the ball. He tries to go up and he tries to finish every time. That's what I like about him, to throw him in the fire, because I just think that kid got more than what people don't think. I think he's very, very talented.
Do you think he's put any pressure on Noel or Mitch at this point?
Let me tell you something. To me, Mitch is still my guy, because I think he's very more mobile than all those guys. And there's a lot of things that Mitch do that you don't see. He blows up a lot of stuff, and he's much quicker. But Noel, let me tell you, Noel's not a rebounder. He's not a rebounder. He doesn't catch the ball very well. So if anybody loses any spot first, it's him. It's him. That's why it's like I'm not too worried about Mitch. I think when Mitch is on the floor, Mitch does what he has to do. And when people talk about his defensive, offensive rebound, most times Mitch is the only one down there boxing out by himself. So I have to give him credit, because he has more effort than anybody else on his team when he's in the paint by himself most of the time. You go watch him. So what he does for us, the second chance rebounding, Mitch is good for what he is right now. And I think he was playing better as the years was going on. So you have to give him more credit, because he was a project player, and for him to come out and to show his talent and to do certain things. And it showed last year how much we needed him, even though Noel did his job to an extent. But what Mitch does is very, very more valuable, I think, personally.
Yeah, and you know what Mitch has that neither one of those two guys have is height and length.
Yes, And
You
he
know?
has speed. He has more speed than these guys.
Yeah, and he can still rise. You know, so he's 7'1", he's long, he's lanky, and he can still rise up. He's put on some, some muscle now. You know, so I still expect that he's going to be able to rise up the way that he did before. Hopefully, he's just more powerful.
Yeah.
When he does it. But that's something that he has over those guys, and you can't teach that. Sims is what, 6'10"? And
6'10",
he
he's
can get up.
physical inclined.
He's physical and he's strong and he can get up. But he's not rising like Mitch can,
Right.
which creates a problem for other teams. But he's a guy
he's
that I think the
disciplined on
Knicks are
his
going
foot, though.
he's a guy that I think the Knicks are going to definitely keep around, and it may next year maybe make Nerlens Noel expendable, especially if he can become a little bit of a better shot blocker.
One of the reasons I think we signed Noel because again, we need to keep a big just in case of anything. So it's just more of reinsurance and reinsurance to keep another big. But if Sims pan out the way I think he can, Noel be like in one of those like deals to get like another good role player. Because this team, give me one more good role player with this team. And let me tell you something, Sim. I was cheesing the last 2 games. The spacing. This is what I envisioned. This is what I wanted. The spacing, the touching, the movement. It was incredible. It's incredible. And the open shots. The shots was open. Teams had to move and scatter. It was incredible. It was incredible. This is all I asked for. This is all I asked for.
Hey, listen, Kevin Knox played a good game last night. He helped to spread the floor, knocking down threes in the first half. You heard Thibodeau. You heard Thibodeau. You heard Derrick Rose talk about him. Let's listen to Kevin Knox a little bit. Then I want to come back and find out. Do you guys think? I mean, Tibbs is Tibbs. He's going to do it the way he does it. But is he going to find his way in to get a couple of minutes? But this is Kevin Knox.
Coach thought you were super productive tonight, and I know you told us heading into this season, you hit some big shots, but like you said, we all know you can do that. Have you felt that your strength and the other thing that you've worked on, the defense and the wanting to fly around, is paying off a little bit here?
Yeah, 100%. I think tonight, I think my energy on the defense end was pretty good. Everyone has a few mistakes here and there, but I think I was in the right spot, right place at a lot of times. Really showing a lot of my help, trying to rebound a little bit better too. But I think, the shot was feeling good, but I was really focused on the other end.
You said that you worked a lot on your strength this summer too. You wanted to come back in great shape and all of that. Do you feel physically like that's paying off?
Oh yeah, I feel a lot better. I mean, just being in the weight room as much as I was this summer, trying to get my conditioning up as well. But I think the weight room is definitely paying off. I feel a lot better out there, just mentally, physically. I just feel a lot better. I mean, overall, just watching a lot of film this summer, working a lot with the coaches in the summer and down in New York. But I think all that is starting to pay off.
4 3-pointers for you in the first half, and what were you feeling like? You haven't seen enough of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it felt pretty good. I mean, to see the first one go in was huge. I always tell my teammates, man, I see the first one go in, I feel pretty good after that. And, I had a lot of really good looks. And we really preach getting in the paint and making plays for each other. My teammates did that. They get in the paint, they find me, and my job is to knock it down. So, my shot felt really good tonight. Overall, my game just felt a lot better.
You need to kind of make an impact today, a pretty quick impact when you got it down, because you're fighting here for minutes. So you feel like when you get in, you've got to do that right away. Oh yeah, every minute matters. Tibbs preach that all the time. I mean, if you get into 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 30 seconds, 30 minutes, like every single minute matters, especially on this team. Got a lot of great players. You got to fight for everything that you want. So I think that's kind of my mindset going in every single game. Any minutes I get, I got to go out there and produce, go out there, play hard, and like you said, make a statement and just go out there and just give it my all.
How do you build on
You said you don't know Julius might come back.
Yeah.
You don't know if he's playing next week. Is it tough to build on this when you don't know you can play, or how do you do that mentally?
I mean, just staying ready. When my number's called, my name gets called, just being ready at all times. I mean, like you said, Julius was out tonight, so my minutes really went up. Me and Obi, I think we did a really good job tonight. But when he comes back, everything changes. So like I said, every minute I get, I got to make the best of it and produce when I get in there.
Right. That was Kevin Knox. I mean, he's saying the right things, produce when I get in there, make the most of my minutes. Did he, if he does this again in another preseason game, say Julius Randle is out for the next game, and maybe Tom Thibodeau says, hey, let's Julius take another day off. I want to see what Kevin Knox can do, with more minutes, see if he can do it again. Do you think he etches out or carves out any minutes whatsoever? I'm going to start with Andy because Andy didn't think he was going to get 20 minutes last night. So I'm going to start with you, Andy. Do you think he can carve out anything? 5 minutes or something?
No, I think the rotation is set at 10. If he does that like 10 games in a row, like 4 out of 5 for 3, I think maybe there's some chance, for that 3-5 minutes, like you said. It's not going to be like he's going to take half of Obi's minutes.
Right.
And, we know that Julius is going to be playing like probably 35 minutes, maybe 33 at this point. So, only hope for Knox is that the Knicks are, when the fourth quarter comes, it's like 25 or more, the game, right? So that's when we might see Kevin Knox. But like you said before about, the D-Rose situation, that Isaiah is going to bug out. Listen, 10 minutes to the end of the game, we were up 21. And I was like, let just McBride play. I want to see the kid, right? Minute and a half later, D-Rose tweaks that ankle. And I'm like, no, I was so mad. I was like, I called it like a minute and a half before. And I was like, Tibbs, really? We're going to do this again? But, he ride it out. So, he put the guys in like 2.5 minutes. The game was still 20 couple up. But he gave them, the garbage minutes for Tibbs is really short. So.
Yeah, listen, and we already know Tibbs isn't going, that this is what Tibbs is going to do. He's playing his guys. This isn't a team that's been together for 3 or 4 years. So I think that's the reason why Tibbs is doing it. He's like, the guys that are going to play, I want them to get minutes together. Derrick Rose probably wants to be out there. You heard him say he doesn't play in the summer, no pickup ball or anything like that. He's probably using this as a way to get in shape, in game shape. It's a tough task to monitor. We'll see if Derrick Rose plays in the next game. If I was watching, I was sitting right across from the bench. He picked his foot up, and it looked worse than I guess it probably was because he sat down and the trainer came out, was coming over to, do whatever, and he just waved him off and said, "No, I'm good," and just went on from there. So to me, I feel like he just maybe stepped on it the wrong way, and it turned over like really, really quick, but hopefully didn't really do any damage. But Ron,
yeah, I saw it.
Go ahead,
I saw
Andy.
it. Sorry, Sim. I saw it. But you know what made me panic? That D-Rose had that towel over his face. I was like, this is a bad sign. He was like, no. I was like, this is a bad sign. I was so stressed out, bro. That this is a preseason game. I'm panicking about D-Rose already.
Yeah, Ron, what do you think, man? Do you think Kevin Knox, if not etched out any minutes, at least gain some more confidence from Tibbs, or a little bit more trust? What do you think?
Yeah, without a doubt. I think he definitely gained more confidence. Edging out more minutes. Listen, every time we talk about these young guys or even guys that aren't solidified, I'm always like, yeah, this guy's going to play. But now I've calmed down. Tibbs is Tibbs. So I know how this rotation is working now. All right, I can't fight it, Tibbs. You won.
Yeah.
But I do think one of the things that we all got to remember, and a lot of Knicks fans out there who kind of bash Kevin Knox, Kevin Knox has this is year 4, and as much as he had a great opportunity his first year, year 2 was chaotic. No direction. Year 3, his first year with Tibbs, he maybe didn't show improve enough in practice on the defensive end, so he just didn't get the opportunity. Now he had COVID or what have you. He had no summer league. He hasn't had a chance to play with the guys on and be out there on the NBA floor. So a good showing, excuse me, a good showing last night. 12 points, 6 rebounds for your first real time out there. I think Knox can definitely do some things, and I think Tibbs sees it. You give this guy some minutes, he can do something. Does he still need to work on other aspects of his game to remain on the floor? Yes, but I think if something happens and say Obi can't play or maybe RJ, something where you need somebody with some type of length and maybe some scoring, I think Knox is an option. I don't think we need to worry about him not being on the team.
Yeah.
Just one person I did want to mention, because I don't know, I don't think I've even seen him on the bench. That guy you may need to worry about is, where is Dwayne Bacon?
Oh, Dwayne. He's just a practice player,
Westchester
man.
Training Facility.
Yeah, he's a practice player. I don't think Dwayne Bacon has a chance at all. Dwayne Bacon.
Who that?
Mark, have you been paying attention to the Knicks all season?
I'm just saying. I mean, is he important?
I mean, he's a player that he started for Orlando some games. He started for Charlotte his time in his career. He's a defensive guy. The Knicks signed him to a training camp deal.
Okay.
What is he, 20, 25 years old or something like that? He's a guy that people thought maybe had a chance to make the roster because he's been in the NBA. But, it seems like he's going to be another Michael Kidd-Gilchrist. Another Michael Kidd-Gilchrist, right? They're bringing these guys in to play defense on their wing players, I think. Ron, along with what you're saying about Knox being able to fill in case, somebody with length is out, but I also think that even if, let's say, Derrick Rose is out, you can now have quickly run the point guard spot. Burks can move up to the shooting guard spot, and Kevin Knox can jump in at the 3 while Obi's at the 4.
Right.
That's a very good point. Yeah, that's the thing with this team being so deep and having, in essence, 4 point guards. I mean, if we want to call quickly a point guard, I think we got to give him. He's a combo guard, but he gets some of that point guard role. So yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say this.
Mm-hmm.
Clyde said it on the television screen. Let Quickly do what he do and not try to make him out to be something that he ain't. And this is all I'm saying. Let him play the way how he plays. He's not a point guard, but can he handle the rock and make a play from here to there? Cool. But his main objective is to come out and score the ball. Just don't try to make him something he ain't be. Clyde said it last night, and it was just, don't force it. I just think the kid relish in what he does the best for a young guy.
I agree with you. Let me get to a phone call, and then I want to get to who you guys thought was the player of the game and what was your play of the game. All right, so I'll give you some time to think about it as we're talking. Caller, you are live. Tell me your name and where you're from. Oh, I think we lost the caller. Let me get the app back up. I think the app went down before the caller could even pick up. But when you're talking about the plays of the game, as I'm getting this app back up, when you talk about the plays of the game, there were a lot of plays to choose from last night. I went through and I was, looking at a bunch of different plays from last night. Taj had a really nice spin move in the paint that, I think a lot of people would say, oh, he traveled. But when you look at it, he really didn't. And it was a really nice play from Taj Gibson. Jericho Sims had a couple of Jericho Sims had a couple of big dunks in the game. I thought one was particularly, just important because, Tibbs was harping on the offensive rebound. Of course, Obi, he got going in the second half. A lot happened. While I'm waiting for this to come back up, I guess I'll just ask you guys and get into it. Who do you think was the player of the game? And then we'll get to some phone calls. Andy, I'll start with you. Any player of the game for you?
I think yesterday it goes to the team. And for the play of the game, I think the team passing around when RJ drove from the right side and passed it out to, I think, Evan Fournier. Then it went to Obi around the perimeter, and he just wanted to pass it by, even further to Rose, but he took that three and he made it. That was, the ball was moving around the court. I was happy. Or just the Fournier lob to Obi. So Obi is going to be that highlight play if you're going to be asking about these nice plays of the game.
Okay, Ron, I'm gonna come to you. Just a player of the game. Do you have a player of the game?
Play or player?
Player.
Player of the game. I'm gonna say it's RJ. We don't know exactly what would have happened, but I'm going to say the way he played was a very solid offensive game. He rebounded from taking some bad shots early or missing bad shots early. He finished with 18 points. And just his defense on Bradley Beal, which Bradley Beal was pretty much a non-factor in the game, that could have affected the Knicks being able to pull the game out easily. So I'm going to say RJ.
Okay. All right. Steph, you have a player of the game?
Yeah, Ron stole my thunder. I was going to say the exact same thing. It was RJ. His defense on Bill. Listen, you're not going to be able to stop any of these elite players in this league, but you make it tough on them. And I think RJ was able to do that with his length, with his positioning. He wasn't fouling. He was balanced defensively. And Bill was a little frustrated at times with RJ guarding him. I thought his defense was a marked improvement over the first game. And offensively, he took, what the defense gave him and he knocked down his shot. So he was the player of the game for me.
Okay. Darley?
I would say RJ as well. And that's just a testament that he scored 18 points for 6 for 12, only put up 12 shots, and he was still able to score 18 points. And that's that he didn't even finish all that well in that game. But considering he's making his open threes, which is what, we want to see from him, would love to see him shoot off the dribble. But I just think what he brought to the team was really the difference maker compared to what everyone else was doing, especially with the defense on Beal.
Okay. All right. And Mark, and then I'll get to mine, and then I'll get to the phone call.
The play of the game was the one Andy said where Fournier gave the alley.
We're just looking for players. Just players.
Player?
We do the plays of the game. Play of the game afterwards.
Okay.
After the phone call.
RJ again, because like I said, the dude is just a solid player. He's gonna do everything well. And the defense he put on Bill, man, that just tells you how strong RJ is. Because Bill is a big dude also. If you see him in person, he's a big dude. And he couldn't get away from RJ from time to time. But like I said, this is the RJ's game. He's gonna score 18 to 20 points, give a little pass, and give you defense. And he was just solid, cool, calm, and collected. That's just, like I said, he's going to be like the Luol Deng. He's just solid. That's what he's going to give you, just solid. Okay. You don't have to score 25 points, but if you're impactful this way, like how I want him to play like this, solid, man, solid. Right. RJ gets it, man.
Okay, now I actually have two players of the game. I have Obi and Kevin Knox, because I feel like they filled in for Julius Randle very, very well. Combined, they had 25 points, 14 rebounds, and 2 assists. They shot 53% from the field, and they shot 50% from three. And this is combined numbers, right? So those two players are my players of the game, because I felt like with Julius Randle out, they provided that kind of production, that you'd be looking for from that 4 spot, and we got it from those two guys. And I really thought in the third quarter, when the game had gotten a little bit tight, Obi started to come on in that third quarter. Started to hit some threes. We had the oop from Evan Fournier. There was one time in the third quarter when Taj Gibson got the ball in the paint. Obi was going baseline. Taj missed him. on the oop. It was a little mini alley-oop that he could have threw there. Taj missed him. He threw it up, but Obi got the offensive rebound and put it back in. As a matter of fact, that may have been his first bucket. And it really it started to get him going. And I thought when Obi started to get going, the lead got big again. You know, because he started to provide in that starting unit something from that 4 spot. You know, so yeah, Obi Toppin and Kevin Knox, those are my players of the game, ladies and gentlemen. Again, they had 25 points, 14 rebounds, 2 assists. They shot 53% from the field and 50% from the 3-point line combined.
I wanted to say Obi, but the reason why it was RJ because he took out the best player on that team, and that's the reason why we was winning the game. So it was just like I wanted to say Obi because the way how he orchestrate the offense and the moving, and like I said, all he has to do is just catch an inner Draymond Green to his game. He's gonna be an asset to this team.
Yeah. Okay. Let me get to this phone call here. Now, caller, you're live. Tell me your name and where you're from. I'm sorry you got cut off the last time. All right, but tell me your name and where you're from.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yeah, I called in yesterday. My name is Elk from Chicago. I called in and I was giving my predictions of the team.
Yeah.
And this game you guys played yesterday, preseason, was kind of actual statement I was saying about Randle because he wasn't in the game yesterday. And you see how fluid the offense was, and you saw how R.J. Barrett got to shine and what he could do. I said Randle is not the number one option yesterday. I mean, he's a solid player. You can't get that good by a fluke. He put in the work, but he gets too frustrated and wants to argue with the refs and throws the game off. He did that in the last game. The preseason is just about building, and if you allow him to run the offense, I think it's going to stagnate the team. You were talking about the plays of the game. I think it's Taj Gibson did some pirouetting moves, which is like a half spin. People don't know what a pirouette is. And I think it's Taj Gibson that's showing Obi these moves that's allowing him to kind of shine in his growth and his skill set as a player. But solid with this team, let Fournier run the offense, put R.J. Barrett in that second unit. And like I said, you guys looking at a championship team to come. Peace out, Knicks.
Elk, I appreciate you, man. Thank you for the call. Elk called in yesterday, ladies and gentlemen, and told us he thinks the Knicks are a championship team. Darley told us before the stream that he thinks, you know, I don't want to put you on blast, Darley, but he said he thinks the Knicks could be a sleeper championship team.
Yeah, I said it. We could be. It's just like, to me, like I'm not one of those people that's just gonna say we're winning the chip. I'm not, you know, insane either, but like, you know, at the same time, it's like I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility, especially after last year. We're so unpredictable. That's just the truth of it. We didn't think we would be as good last year as we were, and look, you know, I mean, anything is possible. Is just what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say this, darling. We could give a team for their run for the money, but at the end of the day, when it comes to the playoffs, if you don't got that one guy to get you that can score in bunches, it's gonna be very hard to reach the top. You need at least one or two of those guys.
We'll see. Maybe
we don't have them like that.
Maybe we can be the like the Detroit Pistons were back when they won the title. Maybe we can be like that. We'll find out. Let's find out how this team, you know, let's find out. Tom Thibodeau said we haven't even put together 48 minutes of play yet. Let's see what happens when we start. I want to know how many minutes he thinks we did put together. You know, did we put together 35? Did we put together 38, 40? You know,
right.
I'd like to know how many minutes of good play he thought the team put out there on the floor. You know, so I think I'm going to send a tweet to Mark Berman and ask him to ask that question the next time he's there. He's probably going to ignore me or, you know, maybe he won't even see it. I don't know. I'm going to ask him that, though. Andy, I think you told us before, but your play of the game.
Yeah, my play for the game is that pass around where RJ probably drove from the right side, passed it around the perimeter. It came to Obi. Obi looked off D Rose like he wanted to pass it to him, but he just took the three and he made it. So probably that or the Fournier oop to Obi.
Okay. All right. Ron, you have a play of the game?
I do, but give me 1 second. I just wanted to comment on something the caller said. with regards to Julius. I just want to shoot Julius a little bail. I understand what he's saying. I think you're going to see a different Julius this year, a little bit more willing to get his teammates involved in the game and a little less frustrated with the referees. I think he learned a little bit from last year's playoff experience. Plus, if he wants to say how RJ looked a little bit more free to do what he wanted to do, listen, RJ had a great defensive game, finished with 18 points. But when Julius was in the game in preseason game 1, they scored 125 and RJ had 17. So I don't think he took anything away from RJ being out there and doing his thing. So that being said, the play of the game for me, there was a lot, Sim. I was thinking about it. You're right. But the one that I liked the best was quickly going baseline with the wraparound pass. He threw it out to Burks. Burks hit Rose. Rose gave it right back to Burks for the 3. I thought that was beautiful.
Yeah, nice. There's going to be a lot of plays, a lot of options for plays of the game this season, I think. Steph, you have a play of the game?
Yeah, I actually have 2. One of them was RJ driving and hitting Taj with the spin in the lane. Basically, after he did that spin, he was in the lane by himself.
Yeah.
And he dunked it. And Knox, Knox driving in the key, giving it to Sim for the dunk, and just able to see Knox development, putting the ball on the floor, getting in the key, somebody's coming, to him, stepping to him, and he having the presence of mind to dish it off. That showed growth in Knox. So that was a play that I appreciated last night as well.
All right. Darley?
For me, it's the one where what Ron spoke about, where quickly passed it out to Burks, and Burks passed it out to forgot what was it Rose, and then back. And then back to Burks. I thought that one was beautiful because I thought, Rose was gonna take it, and he was like, nope, passed it back, got the better shot, and that was, that was just beautiful, beautiful segment.
Yeah, okay, and Mark, what about you?
Man, they all took my thunder. All of above, man. All of above, man. Like, just for me, just to see the spacing is just like that. It just makes my heart melt. This basketball is what I asked for. Just the functioning. Oh God, all of above.
Okay,
all of above, man.
Right. I was gonna think Mark is gonna say the hard fall from Sims on Harold.
You know what I was gonna say too? I was going to say quickly, if he would have made the pass off the pick and roll to Sims when he got the pick and he dived, but he didn't see Sims for the alley. I was going to say that, but he didn't end up getting it. So I'm saying all of above. Because, man, last night was you just see signs of the team playing together, and they just know that for us to be dynamic and good, just pass the ball. You don't have to hold it for long. Just give it up.
Yeah. And for me, my NBK play of the game, I actually have 2 plays of the game, was obviously Evan Fournier to Obi. For me, I thought that was big because they finally found Obi. A couple of times last night, he was trying to get the oop, and they didn't find him. And then the Jericho Sims in the first half when he had a putback dunk. Because Tom Thibodeau, he was saying, hey, the Knicks, he had a problem with their offensive rebounding. Tom Thibodeau did. And for him to get that putback dunk said, hey, okay, we're hitting the glass. We're doing some offensive rebounding. And, so for me, that was a big play. So those are my 2 plays of the game. Again, Obi Toppin with the alley-oop from Evan Fournier and Jericho Sims on the putback dunk where, Tom Thibodeau was already harping on offensive rebounding after the previous game. So to me, that kind of signified like, hey, I'm going to hit the glass and we're going to get some offensive rebounds today. Jericho Sims had 3 offensive rebounds last night.
See, that's how much Mitch is needed, because if he's harping on the offensive rebound, Mitch is an offensive rebound king, man. He gets a lot of second chance points for us. So that's how much Mitch is still missing on his team.
Yeah, no doubt about it, man. No doubt about it. Those right there, ladies and gentlemen, are the plays of the game. A lot of plays out there, though. A lot of plays out there that could be the play.
It was spectacular, man. The passing was just, oh, God. It looked like Spurs. It looked like the Spurs offense, the way they was playing last night.
Yeah.
Corner threes. And the thing too with the Knox thing, he's just a specialist. That shot is just pure. They was running on pin downs and all types of stuff. That's all he needs to do. And when he gets the ball, he has a good first step. Because he's not a ball handler. He can't dribble. He can't dribble. So he has to get it off the rip and attack or shoot the ball. But just the kid could shoot, man. If when he gets the ball, he just got to make the instant kill for it.
Yeah.
He can't think. He just got to do.
Yeah, man, I can't wait to watch the final 2 preseason games, but I'm really excited about what this team can do. Obviously, these are preseason games. They don't count. When the season begins, teams are going to start to plan and scheme a little bit better. The second half of the season, teams have seen what you do on tape, so, the schemes get even better. But I'm excited about what this team might be able to do. And as long as we can lock down defensively and our offense continues to do what it's doing, we can be really scary.
And Steph, the pace is there. I told you, Tibbs could play with the pace. You just got to give him the guys. It was nothing but pace. It was not. I did not yell at my TV not one time and say push. They was just doing it.
Right.
Don't tell me, chat. Oh, Tim's half. No, he can run the ball.
Yeah.
Just do it.
No doubt about it. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate your time. I'm going to let you get to your football. I know, and you're probably like, come on, Sim, hurry up and get off. I got some games I want to watch. The Giants don't play until 4 o'clock, though. But it's great. It was a great game last night. I'm really, really, really excited. I want to go around and get some last words from everybody, and then we'll jump out of here and let you get your Sunday going. Andy?
Well, yeah, let's hope Tibbs is not going to make Mark screen at his TV next game, and let's see it after the game.
I got an extra TV on deck, too.
You got an extra TV on deck. Ron?
Yeah, man. Once again, it was definitely a great game last night. Very fun, exciting to watch. I like this new brand of Knick basketball. My friends called me sometimes I go with the flow, but then I have my little Debbie Downer moments where I say, well, the other shoe is the only thing I am worried about, especially now that Tibbs is out there telling guys, listen, this is the number of threes we need to shoot. If he's really that focused in, and that's a part of what we're doing, which is great. I'm a little concerned about when the regular season happens and we start playing some of these better defensive teams who may even have some matchup issues for us with their length. If they start heading to the perimeter and saying no threes for the Knicks, which is hard to do, but regardless, you can try to do it. That means our layups, dunks, all that inside play got to get strong. RJ got to start finishing. He's got to get back in the lab and continue to finish with contact. So if we do stuff like that, I think we should be fine, because guys that will step up are Kemba, who's a good finisher. Evan Fournier is a good finisher. So I think we should be fine. But that's the only thing I am worried about. When you get 2-3 happy and guys say, let's take the perimeter away, what are you going to do?
Yeah, now I feel you. I still believe that I think the Knicks have so many options that when someone's, starts to really jam up that perimeter, they have the ability to go inside, So, but I understand what you're saying. Steph?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to the season. I'm looking forward to the MBK season. I'm looking forward to the new MBK panelists and the content that they're bringing. Don't forget to check out Queen's Court this Monday at 8 o'clock. And don't forget to check out the NBK and the Queen's Court merch. I had a huge order. I'm wondering why it's not here. I go and it's still in the cart. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. I was hoping that I would have it by the game, but it's not looking like it on the 20th. And again, looking forward to the season.
All right. Darley?
Yeah, I think this team is, like I said, is a sleeper. I think we're better than maybe we even know at the moment. I think we're gonna have not one breakout, but maybe 2. I just feel like OB might really have a breakout season just based off confidence. And then RJ, if he develops off the dribble, I think he's going to be a problem. And I think defensively, I don't think we lost all that much. Because I said it last year, we can play all the defense in the world, but if we're playing no offense, we need to score at some point. So, I mean, I'm very happy, and I'm excited for the season.
Yeah, and Darley, before I let you go, two things. We're gonna do a season preview on the 16th from Darley's studio, Atmosphere Audio, in Brooklyn. All right, so that's gonna be dope. It's gonna be an in-person podcast live from Darley's studio. So make sure you check this out. Check us out. You will get a notification for it, of course. But also on the front stoop, we got a nice little contest going on for the foreseeable future. It's happening every month. Let's put it like that, for the foreseeable future, where Darley's actually giving away free studio time. And I just put a link in the chat, in the YouTube chat, and pinned it to the top of the YouTube chat, so you can come check out Underground Radio tomorrow night, 9:30 p.m., where we'll listen to some underground. We'll listen to some underground music, and you'll get a chance to vote to say, hey, who should move on to the next week or to the end of the month, where the contest really takes place. But Darley, you want to take a second and explain that?
Yeah. Look, it's not like, I'm giving you 4 hours, 3 hours. No, I'm locking out the entire day, 12 hours. You can do, whatever you want in that 12 hours. Me and Sim said it. If you come prepared, you can knock out a whole album in 12 hours if you're really prepared. So, I mean, the idea is you're also getting a spotlight. So, you're gonna get an interview kind of thing, get in touch with an audience, get somebody, people who don't know maybe who you are, to get to know you. And also the thing is, it's all about artist development. I want to be able to help people who don't necessarily have everything, be able to create better music. And this is just my way of giving back to the community, in a way that I think it's fair for me and for everyone else.
Yeah, it's gonna be dope. So the way it's gonna happen is each week, we're gonna spotlight about 4 artists. Listen to their music, watch their videos or whatever. We'll do a quick review, and then we'll have people in the chat vote on who should move on to the last week of the month. So there'll be 3 weeks where we review artists, and then the last week of the month, we'll take the winners from the previous 3 weeks. We'll listen to their music again. We'll talk about it, and then we'll choose the winner. And then the winner will be the person that gets the 12 hours of studio time and a spotlight. And we may even have a second place winner that gets a spotlight and, maybe some other things. So, it's a dope concept. It's fun. We get to listen to a lot of new, fresh music, artists that's coming out, dropping music, new, different styles of music and things like that, man. So, check us out tomorrow night at 9:30 on the front stoop. I put a link in the YouTube chat, pinned it to the top of the YouTube chat, where you can go subscribe to the front stoop, and you'll be notified when the show is ready tomorrow night. And yeah, it's going to be fun. It's going to be dope. Mark, finish it off, man. Last words.
Well, my doctor said my blood pressure is great, so I just hope that we continue to keep what we're seeing, because boy, oh boy, this is going to be a fun season, because, again, we got nothing to lose. We're playing with house money once again. But if we continue with the pace and space, listen, man, you're going to get a happy mark on almost every show, win or lose. But listen, man, if it don't look good.
Yeah, we know. Well, listen, look, the Knicks are averaging 121 points per game. Your blood pressure is going to be cool. Let's see what happens in the regular season. Let's see what happens in the regular season.
I don't want to be evil, Mark. I'm a mean and nice guy. I don't want to feel like that all the time. If I can get this almost every game with the play, man, I feel great. This is all I ask for. I got my Christmas gift. We don't even need to go to December 25th. I already got what I need.
All right.
I already got what I need.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate your time, man. Out of here. Be peaceful. Spread love, ladies and gentlemen.
This is NBK, nothing but Knicks. When Sim passed the assist, you know that it's #1 show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock, who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Post-game reviews, this the place you tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sub like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Knicks.